Hey, it's EG. Welcome to the audio version of the Be Yourself Marketing newsletter. And if you haven't checked out the podcast yet, there are real conversations with entrepreneurs just like you, and they're building on their own terms because your best marketing strategy is the one you were born with. Find it wherever you listen. Now, let's get into the newsletter. Self-help snacks does not equal building a business. Now, before we get started, there is a warning. Do not grab a tub of ice cream, bag of chips, or buy another program while listening to this one. This confusing combination will make sense when we're done. I promise. Ready? Do you remember the TV show called The Biggest Loser? It was a show where several obese people were tortured with restrictive diets and exhausting exercise in a quote-unquote last-ditch attempt to relieve themselves of the weight, physical and emotional, that's negatively impacting their lives. Now, imagine voluntarily spending at least 4 hours a day exerting your body to the point of vomiting and dehydration. Needless to say, viewers were hooked. You know the expression, a deer in headlights? Well, I couldn't look away either. And like many others I know, we judged them getting to that point. Instead of cheering them on because they wanted to improve their health and their life, it was, how could they let themselves get to that point? Don't they have any self-control? Surely seeing people go through all of that would spark some inspiration to avoid ending up like that. And seeing some of that insane weight loss of more than half their body weight, it would show people how easy it would be to lose just even a little bit of that. It all makes sense logically, doesn't it? Except I was overweight when I started watching. Not the obese levels, but my love handles were very easy to hold. And while slinging judgment into a TV screen, I'm doing something very unexpected. I'm snacking on a tub of ice cream. Or a bag of potato chips. Sometimes both. Seriously, the hypocrisy was all too real and honestly a little bit embarrassing to admit. But things changed or improved when I realized what I was doing. And now you're wondering, well, what does this have anything to do with email or the business you're wanting to build? Well, I can't lose weight watching shows about diets while eating potato chips and ice cream. And you can't grow a business spending your time and money constantly learning and being judgmental about your skill set to the point of not doing anything. See, knowledge is power. Knowledge plus action is power. Knowledge without action is dead, according to James D. Wilson. You can say you want to build, scale a business, that your goal can include a sense of financial freedom and flexibility of time, and you can read up on it, learn things, and talk about the goal. But it is never going to happen if you don't take action. That action has to be something other than read another book, watching another video, listening to another podcast, paying for another program, because you are paying for it by losing time and money. Remember that time is more precious and important than money, and there's no guarantee how much or the quality we have left of it. But we often waste way too much of both. There's a lot of motion, but not enough true momentum. So Adam Braun has a quote that says, for any movement to gain momentum, it must start with a small action. Now, I'm not saying not to take courses or read books or watch videos. I mean, I ended up spending over $25,000 in 2024 on programs, and that's unique. It's just that, you need to do something with all that knowledge. You need to spend money and your precious time always learning and never applying. It's the same thing as eating my junk food while watching The Biggest Loser. There was an initial spark that ignited how I live my life that came from helplessly standing by while my dad passed with regrets. And while I did intentionally build the business around the lifestyle I wanted, I didn't factor in my physical well-being. And at some point, I settled because of all the ailments my body accumulated during my invincible youth and my bad genes. Now, head to toe, literally, there isn't a region that doesn't have some sort of issues. I mean, the good thing is I get a handicap placard, so I'm not having to walk too far in the winter when it's snowy and slippery outside. Now, what was my tipping point to get serious about my health habits? Yeah, here's an embarrassing fact. I had to step on a scale and see that I was dangerously close to 200 pounds, and I had trouble walking around the block. Now, I may not become an ultra marathon runner or climb Mount Everest, but I could do something to change where I was headed. What's your tipping point? How do you stop wasting your money and time on things that keep you in motion without any momentum? What does that first or next step look like for you? Who can help you stay accountable so that you can stop just running like a hamster on a wheel, like constantly in motion, never getting anywhere? Or just emptying out your wallet day after day, week after week, with nothing actually getting put back in, so that you can start building momentums toward your version of the ideal life, which would be, I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. And a few months later, I got to spend 8 hours. I got to spend, I didn't have to, I got to spend 8 hours climbing a mountain for my 50th birthday. Look, here's the reality check. It's not like a light switch. It's not either on or off. You're going to have good days and bad, and everything you try isn't going to work perfectly or well at first or ever. That's okay. Just pivot. Right now, if you made it this far, let's give you the too long, didn't listen, skip to the end. Stop spending money on programs you're not finishing or implementing. Start investing that money into your emergency account so your savings can get to a point where you never have to get a job again. Start implementing what you've learned. Stop feeling like you need to be perfect or a know-it-all, because look, you just need to know as much as or be one step ahead of the people you want to help. That's it. Besides, we all know people who think they're perfect and are know-it-alls, and the last thing we're doing is wanting to pay so that they're influencing our lives even more. Stop drifting. Start deciding. Live with intention. It's not going to be perfect every step of the way. Just pivot. And as my Mamma Mia always used to say, you gotta keep it going. Make it a great action-packed and intentional week.